Just a few short points. This is such a rich gospel, and there's so many amazing commentaries. Just a couple things I want to hone in on for a little short homily here. One is that, beautifully enough, this road to Emmaus actually kind of imitates and might even be an inspiration for the order of the Mass. The order of the Mass. And it's just good to reflect as we look into this. Do I doze off during the readings? It's like during the readings we doze off, offertories like Catholic halftime. Okay, kids, go to the bathroom, and then finally we get to the Eucharist, something like that. And that's a very unfortunate outlook on Mass. I hope that's not how you look at it. But it can remain, it becomes rote. And that's okay. We always need to refresh even the simplest things in our Catholic life. So that's perfectly fine. That's why I'm here to tell you to refresh it, because we see here, first, the Lord approaches them, and he says, Then beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them what referred to him in all the scriptures. And then they keep going, and then what happens? The breaking of the bread. So our Mass mirrors exactly what happens this road to Emmaus. We have the breaking, we have the interpretation, we have the hearing and then the interpretation of all the scriptures. You have an awesome homilist to break them down for you, such as Father Harold, of course. And then, of course, we have the Eucharist, by which we are nourished. But it's important to remember that the scriptures are God's kind of love story for us. God's love story for us. He didn't need to reveal anything to us, right? He doesn't need us, very strictly speaking, and yet out of great love for us, he has given us the scriptures. Right? God already knows everything about himself, so all of this is a benefit for us. And it is truly these scriptures, both the Old Testament and then all the epistles, all the letters of Paul, etc., that point to Jesus Christ, that unveil who Christ truly is for us. And so we see the deep importance, right, coming to Mass, not just for the Eucharist, but for the readings, so that God can speak to our hearts. The other element here, very quickly, we see it happened that while he was with them at table, he took bread, said the blessing, broke it, and gave it to them. With that their eyes were opened and they recognized him, but he vanished from their sight. And this is a sign for us, brothers and sisters. We no longer need to look for another appearance for the Lord, because he has been made known in the breaking of the bread. He's been made known in the breaking of the bread. We truly profess that Jesus Christ is present here in the tabernacle, body, blood, soul, and divinity. That through the words of the consecration, I in my priestly power turn that bread and wine into Jesus himself. And so even though we don't see him, our faith knows that he is there. And this is just meant to remind us as well that it is in the breaking of the bread that we recognize Jesus Christ. We are no longer in need of great works or miracles. It is merely our faith that should be enough for us. So anyway, those are just a couple things here that I wish to share with you very briefly. Do look up commentaries. There's just so many beautiful things so many beautiful commentaries that could elucidate on this story way better than I ever could. Okay, I'm not that good of a homilist, obviously. But I should say there are people who can do it way better than I could. But I hope you take that with you. Faith in the Eucharist, right, from the story of Emmaus, and then also the importance of the readings. Let God speak to you in the Word. Don't just doze off, but let him speak to you. Let him speak to you that love story, and let your heart, let your soul be nourished by his true presence, his true body, blood, soul, and divinity in the Eucharist.